Hello and welcome. This is rooflemonger. And now that the big Guilty Gear Strive patch has been out for a few days, as is tradition, this is the winners and losers of the patch video. Now, straight up, almost everyone came out of the patch a winner. Some people, they came out of the patch kind of neutral, and some people, maybe they got toned down a little bit. But they're still among the best characters in the game, so it doesn't hurt that bad, right? But I, in good faith, cannot start this video with anyone other than Anji, because Anji is the biggest winner of this patch by a country mile. So let's get right to it. Now, Anji, I'm sure you're probably well aware of the changes, and if not, you can find the patch notes in the video description. But, Stand Slash got better, that's good. The big one being Fujin. Fujin, you can now do all the follow-ups on Whiff. But even more important than doing all the follow-ups on Whiff is you can do the follow-ups before the Fujin move actually even comes out directly. So you can go right into raw overhead, you can go right into the low, you can go right into projectile toss, or you can just hop the day away, right? And these things kind of revolutionize the character and what the character is capable of. Something as basic as this, like you're probably aware of the overhead, he has like combo potential after the fact, right? He can hit you because it bounces. And the big thing before is, you would Fujin, and then, okay, is it the low, which is pretty much safe most of the time, or is it the overhead, right? And after you block, it's going to be one or the other most of the time. And the thing is, the overhead is what we would call reactable, that you can just block low and see the overhead coming. But what makes it reactable, and this is the truth of reactions in fighting games, is because you're expecting it. Oh, I blocked Fujin. Great. So now it's low, which is fast and I can't react to, so I'll just block. And if I see the overhead, then I'll block that, right? But now where this goes completely out the window is you can just do the overhead by itself, right? It's still quote-unquote reactable, but it's now no longer in the comfort zone of, oh, Fujin happened, so now I know it's coming. Now I know it's possible. Now it's just, no, this can happen whenever. And all of a sudden, when something can happen whenever, it becomes a lot less reactable. Like, hey, ever got hit by a jumping attack in a fighting game? I bet you did. They're all technically reactable, but sometimes you're just asleep at the wheel. You weren't ready for it. Just whatever excuse you want, right? It didn't happen. This is the same deal. So while this is technically a slow overhead, the fact that it is now no longer, you can only do it after the Fujin connects, makes it so much scarier. Like the projectile toss at will now, that's crazy, because if you're not aware, the projectile toss is plus on block. Like Kai here, he's going to jab check after the fact, right? And due to the fact this is plus on block, I'm always going to win. So knowing it's going to be your turn and safe to take, hit a button, that's really good. And once again, this is plus on block move on demand, right? No longer do you have to wait until Fujin. Also keep in mind, if you're close enough, you can totally get a natural combo after the fact on hit. And you can combo right into Ko, this special move, right? So you get a pretty decent reward. There's not a lot of plus on block moves in this game, so now having one on demand whenever you want is a pretty big deal. How about auto-timed Okazeme? So here, we do our basic forward throw, right? True hard knockdown. Kai's gonna try to wake up with a 5-frame button. We do the held version of Fujin and mash punch to get the fan toss out. When you're holding it, which is the longer version of Fujin, the whiff cancel, before it actually comes out, can only come out basically like the frame before the Fujin would come out. So it'll always come out the exact same time, so it's reliable timing, and it'll always beat wake up buttons. So therefore, okay, you got the throw, and it's always your turn. Even if they try to do something, like forward P or whatever, to beat an aerial attack, not happening. And remember earlier how we talked about you get a combo off that too, right? Now, if the character has an invincible reversal, yeah, it's going to happen. But most characters in this game don't. So, it's a neat little trick, right? And there's all sorts of variants. You can also hold and go into the hop and all that kind of stuff. The hop also has auto time roofs as well, and you can block reversals, so that's good if you're expecting that. You can like trade with like close ass, that kind of stuff. They have a particularly very fast button, otherwise you'll just beat them clean. So neutral, once again, the overhead just randomly is very scary. Having plus on block moves whenever you want. Even just having a quick sliding low is not bad, right? The range on that is significant. Certainly better than any of his normals. He doesn't really have any normal advancing normals other than just Rock and Fujin as it is. And of course, naturally, it is safe at basically every range other than literally point blank. New neutral, new set play, new Okazeme, new combos, new everything. Once again, I said at the start of the video, there can be no doubt or confusion that Anji is the #1 lightning bolt with a bullet biggest winner of this patch. The boy went from bottom tier, some people would debate he was the single worst character in the game, and now he might be like, geez, he might be top 5, I don't know, man. He's gotten everything he could ever hope for, man. He's got the most amount of new toys to play with. He's definitely leaving his buddies Gold Lewis and Faust behind in the low tier club, right? He is now a monster. There is no doubt about it. Now our next big winner, not as big as Anji. Once again, I think Anji's in a class in and of himself, right? But Ino for sure is a big winner. From just little things like, you know, crouch, kick, into sweep becoming a more reliable tool. Not 100% reliable, as you can see there, right? You can still whiff at absolute max range, but otherwise it is a much more reliable tool, which is great because it's such a core part of her game plan. That's fantastic. And of course, the big thing is the movement. Ino's movement now is just absolutely bonkers, right? Feel a little pressured mid-screen, back up, toss a note, come back in, right? You move like almost double the speed you used to move on the previous air backdash, so that's just truly fantastic. That helps out so much. The grounded dash, forward dash both move much further as well, and that has gameplay ramifications other than just the pure I move further, right? Like this example here from @PackStrife shows that due to the fact that her grounded dash is just a little better than it used to be, it now creates pretty consistent safe jump mid-screen off a basic throw.
Show me your blood.
So there you go. That's it in a nutshell, right? Just thanks to the increased speed and distance, you go a little bit faster, a little bit further, right? So I can force on the tech, and if they were there to be hit, I would hit them with the second jumping heavy, right? But if they're not there to be hit, like they're doing an invincible reversal, then I just get the land, I get the block in time, right? It's very basic, but these are the kind of things, these are the building blocks of fighting games, right? So just buffs like that help her out big time. And just little things like if you do heavy stroke the big tree now, there's no need for like, you know, micro walks or fancy stuff. You're just a little bit closer. Good quality of life. Technically it doesn't change anything, but it just lets you be a little bit more lazy. And being lazy is the best and most fun part of a fighting game. You know, trying hard's for suckers. So that's really good. But in essence, the Ino experience is just improved all around, right? She is now more what she's kind of always been before, and that is the master of the skies. So with these changes here, they're definitely going to make her better and more fun to play. Now, not everyone is as big of a winner as Ino and Anji, right? A lot of other characters did well, you know, like, you know, Kai did well, Nagoriyuki, which we'll talk about here in a second, did well. I don't need to regurgitate every single character that, you know, got stuff, but there's a couple I just want to highlight, and Nagoriyuki being one right here. So you're probably well aware of the fact that Nagoriyuki, he got a bit of a change here. So his triple slash combo here, just SSS, the final hit got a massive buff to blood drain. Look at that. It's basically a full bar and then some. Like, that's absolutely ridiculous. One thing you may not know, however, is it also got a big buff on block as well. Now, obviously not as significant as on hit, but still, look at this. about a good 75% of a bar drained before it went down. So, like, that's a lot. Now, obviously, in case you don't know, this final hit is a death on block, right? But if you just need to get the blood down, right? You can't get those clean hits. You need to get the blood down because you only get any real returns on blood drain on hit, not on block, right? Then this becomes a viable option to then just, like, I'll do this, and then I'll RC. And at the very least, I'll bring down the blood a bit. I'm not going to get a lot out of it, but I'm still safe. And there's an actual return for getting blocked, which he didn't really have before. So on hit, well, you use this for corner carry anyways and a lot of wall breaks, and so that's fine. And on block, it actually has a utility to it that it never really had before. It's one you got to back with a Roman cancel, sure, but it's an option that wasn't present before, so I like that quite a bit. The other person I want to talk about here in the not as big winner category, but still a winner, is Axel. Because Axel gets to play the same way he did before, but just strictly better, right? He now has his basic pokes being a lot more dangerous as a now natural combo in the snail. Now, you still got to watch out. You don't want to do it too close, because that is punishable if you're a little too close. But you know what? You're Axel, right? Like, you're not going to be too close if you did it correctly. So it's not too much of a worry. But that said here, obviously the big change is one vision, right? The fact that you can now cancel one vision into any special is pretty ridiculous, right? Like, oh, got my hit, cool. I can go into one vision. In this particular example as well, like I can go right into one vision, right? And then, you know, hey, combo time. And I can go all the way to the wall, and I can get wall breaks from it. Get hit by the unblockable. It is now party time officially. Easy wall breaks. I know that's not optimal, right? But whatever, right? Easy wall breaks. Axel, not a character that gets a lot of wall breaks, right? So to be able to convert, and it's better damage than he's going to get like off a Roman cancel combo, that's pretty dang decent. Just the fact that he can threaten stuff now in a way he never really could before. Like, look at that. I can get a combo now. And that was just off a random down heavy poke, right? That's not a rare scenario. That is not like a magic, impossible, you know, Twitter video only scenario. That's going to happen almost every game. And like, now he can get huge conversions off it into potentially wall breaks too, which once again is a rare thing for him because Axel bombers have so much wall carry after the time stop. So Axel still just, he's doing Axel things, right? He ain't an all new character like Anji or like, you know, looking at the game differently like Ino is, right? He's still going to do the same basic thing, but he's going to do the same basic thing with way more damage in the end. Now for losers. I'm going to mention people that are still just fine, right? They're good. They're still good. But, well, let's take Mei as our first example. Is Mei still good? Yes. Is she one of the better characters overall in the game? Yes. But if you just wanted to play Caveman Mei, you just wanted to go blah and just mash as hard as you possibly could and, you know, put in a dolphin between every other move, your life got a little bit worse. Why is that, you might ask? Well, stuff like this. The fact that crouching S now has the same kind of hitbox like every other character in the game has. Before the patch, Mei was so far behind the actual anchor. Like, this interaction here you're seeing here, like being able to counter poke, could never have happened. So what makes it bad for Mei now is simply she's on the same level as other characters are. She works like a normal character in this regard. You know, versus playing by her own special rule set. So for the kind of person who just was hiding behind this, because it's still one of the best normals in the game, straight up, even with the nerf. But if you only held behind this and the disjointed hitbox was carrying you, that sucks a little bit. Just the fact of that, and like stand S is no longer the catch-all, as like it won't automatically beat anything trying to go low. They're like examples like Stun Dipper. Like, it's a little hard to time it perfectly here, but like that would have hit before. That would have clocked Kai right in the face. He would not have gotten past that point, right? Because that also hit very low to the ground. So now you choose, right? For general pokes and obviously the range, because the range is still really good, use Stand S. And for more general stuff and covering the ground, use Down S. once again, hardly a bad character now, but it is definitely a nerf to the ignorant Mei playstyle. Like when I played Mei, that's all I did. Like I just hit these two specific buttons, and every other between those I just hit a dolphin, right? So the way that I played Mei, that was definitely a direct nerf. And when it comes to other losers, I have to say Chipp. Now Chipp, he's still one of the best characters in the game, right? But specifically the nerf to down kick. This move, frankly, carried people. Like that, let's just get real about it, right? So now the hitbox nerf happening the way it has, you can actually anti-air it with half the cast. Because the problem was before, you could see it coming all you like, pretty as you please, right? But seeing it coming didn't mean you could still stop it. Now is a big issue for a lot of the cast. Like this example here with Potemkin. Like right there I did stand jab. And I actually traded that time. That would not have happened before. I beat it clean that time. That would not have happened before, right? I'd have to be like so far ahead of it before to even have a chance. And now I can still lose, right? If I smell it coming, then at the very least I have the option to try to beat it. When before, that was just off the table, right? Same thing too, doing 4P. Very iffy, especially if it's like kind of crossing up the other side. Because then Potemkin could be facing the wrong direction. And now you can still get him either way, most of the time anyways. So just little things like that. Like, it's still a strong move, right? But it's not just free and guaranteed. It now suffers from the penalty of abuse will lead to you getting dunked. Which is what should be the case for most given moves in fighting games, right? If I know you're going to do it, then I should be able to deal with it. And now that's what it is. Do it every now and then, you're still going to get away with murder, but now if it's just what your entire offense, you're going to have to rethink your plan. So that is, to me, the winners and losers of the patch. Obviously, you know, the game's in a better spot than it was before, absolutely, right? Could some people have gotten a little bit more? Sure, absolutely, right? But still, overall, very healthy patch, very strong patch. And keep in mind, too, this is the quote-unquote small patch, right? So when we look at changes like to Anji and stuff, this was the small patch. October coming up will be the big patch. So I'm definitely very interested in seeing how things are going to go from there. All in all, when it comes to the patch, 2 big thumbs up. Once again, characters that got nerfed. You know, Chipp got nerfed. Still one of the best characters in the game. Soul got nerfed. Still one of the best characters in the game. Mei got nerfed. Still one of the best characters in the game. So the top tier wasn't crippled, right? And the bottom tier, maybe some characters could have got a bit more. Faust got some interesting changes. Gold Lewis's gun changes, it's better, I guess, right? Like, they could have got more, sure. But when it comes to low tier, Anji got the world. So it's a strong look forward to the future. Like, these are the kind of changes they're willing to make. Drastic in Anji's case as it is, right? Then future balance patches, it gives me a good hope, a strong hope for the future. That all said, my friends, hey, that's it for me, right? So let me know what you think in the comments below. And otherwise, well, till next time, thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well. Go out and play some Guilty Gear.